So for the agenda today, we're going to talk about the different re-registration components, the Titan Link form, LeadCon, Solid Path, and through this, we will also answer some frequently asked questions, which we'll see later in the presentation. So we're going to start with the registration process. So there's a 3-step registration process, which I'm sure some of you have seen, some of you have not. So the first step, or one of the main components, is the registration form. That opened on May 1st, and it will close on Monday, August 31st. The second step of registration is officer qualifications, which is required for presidents and treasurers. To complete this, they must be registered for fall 2020 classes, complete the online training via Canvas, have a 2.0 GPA, and be in good student standing, as well as participate in LeadCon workshops. Well, at least one. So some of you maybe don't even know how to access the registration form, so we're going to just share that. Only incoming presidents should be completing the form. If anyone else completes it, it will get denied, and we will ask that the president submit the form. So to access that, you log into Titan Link and then select organizations, register an organization, and find your group. There's a screenshot on the screen to kind of show you what that looks like visually. And if you have specific questions about this, at the end, we can answer those. So the registration form itself has 7 components, and then within there's subcomponents. So the main ones, just the general instructions for you to have that knowledge. Your organization profile, which is what shows up on Titan Link. Your organization profile picture, which also shows up on Titan Link. Your organization interests, categories, and roster, as well as supplemental questions and agreement statements that we ask that you read through and that you are aware of. So for your Titan Link profile, a lot of that information will already pre-populate since you are re-registering and your Titan Link profiles already exist. You can make edits to that as needed, and it's important that you know that the contact information listed will be public. So we ask that you don't put any private information, whether that be like your personal address, personal phone number, and email as well. There's a contact form that students can contact you, or outside organizations can contact you at via Titan Link. And the reason this is because, again, this is public. Anyone who looks up your organization, CSUF, can have access to that profile. So interests and categories. This is stuff that you select on your own. You find what your general interests are of your organization. And the reason that's important is because when our students are looking for organizations, they will type in interest or tag interest, and that's how your organization will pop up to them. So it's important that you find, you mark those and that they are closely related to the interest of your organization. Same thing with categories. Users can also search specific categories when they're looking for organizations to join. So the Constitution, this part, you don't need to submit unless you're submitting a new Constitution. If you're not, the question will say, are you updating your Constitution? Yes, no. If you hit yes, that's when you upload a new one. If you hit no and nothing changed, you don't need to worry about this. But if you are redoing Constitution, there is a sample Constitution available at this website, and all items in bold must be included in your Constitution. If they're not, it'll get denied. And it needs to be, what's bold needs to be word for word. Beyond that, it's kind of up to you what you need to include or want to include. And again, if you don't have any edits or updates, you don't need to make any changes or upload anything, and that's a step you don't need to worry about. For sports clubs and fraternities and sororities, there's different articles and alternate sections that appears in that sample Constitution that doesn't apply to the rest of student orgs. And that's about it for constitutions. So your re-registration form will be saved once you start it. So don't feel that you need to finish it and start it and finish it in one session if you don't have the time. You can access your saved registration forms or forms that haven't been denied. So to access this, we kind of broke down the process, and if you need help with this later individually, we can talk about that. But the general process is to select your profile picture, select submissions, select the org registration tabs, and then find your saved or denied registration and continue updating the form. So I'd like to share some common errors we found in a couple of the registration submissions we received and why they usually get denied. and that has to do with their ASI account number. So we ask that if you do have an ASI account number, to include it. If it's not included, we will ask you to resubmit with an ASI account number. If you're having trouble accessing that ASI account number, you can email ASI Banking or email Student Life and Leadership, and we can provide you with the ASI account number we have on file. But we do ask that you confirm that with ASI Banking. And then the other one is public profile. So again, please do not include personal information. I've had students put their personal addresses, and I do ask them to please remove that because anyone can find that and we don't want that personal information. You can choose to keep it, but we highly encourage that you do not have that personal information on your TitanLink profile. And then these are frequently asked questions. So one is, why was my form denied? Sometimes students get denied and feel like there was no comments left, but usually when it's denied at the bottom of your submission, there will be a comment section that lets you know what needs to be fixed. If you have specific questions about any comments left, you can always reach out to our office or drop into office hours, and one of our staff members can help you with that. My form was approved. Why is my account still frozen on TitanLink? So although your registration form might have been approved, you need to complete all 3 steps of the re-registration process and receive a confirmation from our office in order for your TitanLink page to be unfrozen. So it'll remain frozen even though you submitted it. So don't be concerned. If it was approved, you submitted it, you're still on the right track. It just, all 3 need to be done. And then how do I update my TitanLink page if I'm not re-registered? So for this one, you would, while you're doing the re-registration, you can update information there. But beyond that, you need to wait for your registration, all 3 pieces to be approved in order to make updates to your TitanLink page. And then how do I access the online training, which is part of the re-registration process? So for this one, I kind of wanted to give you a visual. What I typically do is on the news section, you can look up student org re-registration and you'll get this article. In this article, you'll see on step number 2 under officer qualifications, there's a link. That link will take you to the training that you need. And if anyone needs that link at the end of the presentation, I can provide that for you. Remember that this should be completed by the president and treasurer. If only one completes it, then it won't count as complete. There also needs to be, you need to have a passing score. Cleon, can you confirm the score for me that they need?
You need a 27 out of the 33 possible points.
So 27 out of 33. If you do not get that, you need to retake the quiz. You have up to 3 attempts. So that should be enough for you to be able to hit that score that you need. And then these are just general TitanLink tips for you all to be aware of and that we recommend. Update your TitanLink with photos and links to your social media. Now more than ever, especially that we're digital, this is really important. So make sure to advertise any virtual engagement opportunities your organization has available to incoming students or new members. Again, TitanLink will be one of your best friends during this virtual time. So the more you can show who your organization is through TitanLink, the better it will be for your organization as students are looking for orgs to join. And then to upload a video on TitanLink, we recommend you do this so they can kind of get to know who you are as an organization. And this is something that you can embed in your TitanLink profile. So LeadCon. LeadCon is our student organization leadership series. Today is the last day of LeadCon. So just to share that, and then we recommend to have a president and treasurer or treasurer participate. It really only needs to be one representative, but we believe the more officers you can send, the better, just so everyone can get this information. There will be a LeadCon makeup session for those of you who didn't get a chance to attend any other sessions. It won't be a direct LeadCon workshop. It will be through Student Leadership Institute, and it'll be a workshop, The True Colors, on August 28th at 10 a.m. If you need to register for this, you do so through TitanLink. And when you attend, we will count that as your attendance for LeadCon. Another thing we'd like to share with you all is TitanLink Solid Path. So this is really helpful as you figure out what is going to be successful for you and your organization. This you go through and it's very personal, it's very what matters to you. So there's different frameworks of success that we kind of lay out for you and you fill out and complete on your own. So there's the individual framework, the organization framework, and the community framework. And the individual, has a lot to do with like personal development and professional development and just you as a person, but also your organization as individuals. And it's more, again, you go through it and it'll help you as you go plan your events or the type of programming you want to do this year. And then these are some resources we have for you all. One I highly recommend is the Titan Link news articles. There's a lot of information here that can be beneficial to you. One is tips for engaging your student organization members virtually. This right now more than ever is really important. This has been recently updated. While it doesn't have all the information you need, it has very helpful steps of, for example, how do I run a large meeting and what tools can you use, or just tips on running large meetings in general. And then we have Student Life Connection. This is a brand new tool. Students can use this to match them to organizations based on their interest. This can also be helpful for you as an organization as you're looking for other organizations to connect with. Like, hey, I am a culturally based organization and I'd like to find another one similar to mine. You can use this tool. Again, these are all Titan Link news articles. So if you look up their titles, you'll be able to find them. And then Fall 2020 Digital Discover Fest. There's an article that shares what that will look like this year. I'm not sure if everyone here knows, but we will be moving forward with the Digital Discover Fest. What that will look like, we'll have a webinar, I believe, next week on Tuesday, and we will explain more what that process will look like for you all as student organizations. We recommend that you subscribe to our Student Life and Leadership YouTube channel. Here, you'll find very short videos with helpful information. We try to keep them around like 3 to 5 minutes, sometimes shorter, just so it kind of gives you the information you're looking for. And then also to follow us on Instagram. Here you'll find the latest updates. So if anything changed last minute or we have an event coming up, this is a great way to keep up to date with what the office is doing. And that's the end of this presentation.